Hi everyone.
Hey there.
What's up, guys?
Aavegotchi, please, I just have a request for today's meeting. It's 6 in the morning here on my side, and it's my first day of holiday. Some friends are picking me up in like 30 minutes. So can I just do the demo of the Aavegotchi swap thing at the start of the meeting, because I will not be able to attend to the full meeting.
Yes, of course, that won't be a problem.
Thanks, mate.
Well, then let's not delay any further. And yeah, just get started when you're ready.
I think I'm good. I just want to check if PG is coming, because it's 6 in the morning on my side, and I think he changed his status. He's not coming, and it's midnight on his side. So he told me he will try, but he was not 100% sure he will be there. Okay. Dan is here. Good. Perfect.
Yeah, I feel you. It's 6 a.m. here too. But yeah, whenever you're ready, get us started.
Yeah, I was grabbing my ledger. So I'm going to share my screen. Hope it works fine. Okay, there it is. So the project is named Gotchi Swap. We starting the dev some weeks ago. This is the very first iteration. I hope many more iterations will come. Let's go to. So the goal of the DApp is very simple. We want to provide a DApp that allow OTC transaction for Aavegotchi ecosystem assets. Right now it is limited to portals and Gotchi for the V1, but the goal is to expand to more a broader selection of assets, like wearables, which are, I guess, the other priority. Maybe parcels, and also be able to bundle the assets you want to put in an OTC. PG took care of everything regarding smart contract. He made a lot of testing with the smart contract itself, because we have to take the Gotchi will be deposited in the contract at some point, and so we need to make sure that in any cases Gotchi never gets stuck, and so that's why it took a lot of testing on his side. On my side, I try to apply to the best of my abilities new Aavegotchi branding, colors, fonts, and all that stuff. And I also decided not to fork any project, not to start for any kind of template. I really started from scratch with the latest Next.js version and the most common packages actually used in Web3 in order to get a clean start on the project itself. So let's refresh one more time so we get rid of everything. Okay, so I'll start the demo. I will do it, and Wallet Connect is working. Yes, normally. So I'll start the demo. I will create an OTC deal. I just have one Gotchi in this wallet, which is good. And I will input another address, which is mine also. Let me grab the ledger. Okay, there it is. So I have to sign 2 transactions. One to approve the transfer of the Gotchi to my contract. Okay, should have a little modal that tell me that something is happening. Okay, transaction succeeded. The button changed to create OTC. So this one is going to really call the smart contract. And Ravi should tell me that the NFT is going out, which is okay. Loading. And Gotchi is not in my wallet anymore at that point. Yeah, if I go to my bad. Go there. If I check normally, Rabbi. Okay. If I check me, yeah, I still have some Gotchis, but all of these are actually lent out. But there's no real Gotchi in my pocket, so that's the point. Okay, if I go back, I hit the menu, I have the other page, see my deals. Here you can see that I have created, there is a deal I have created with this dApp, it's here. I can abort the sale. If I abort the sale, the Gotchi just comes back to my pocket and to my wallet. And otherwise, I'm just going to switch wallet. I'll take a second wallet like this one, I guess. No, not this one. I didn't send it to OX6, this one. Okay. And this one, you can see I have a proposal to buy this Gotchi for 10 GHST, which is, of course, a bit cheap, I would say. I just allow GHST spending, so here same too, I will have to sign 2 transactions. So Rabbi told me that this contract is unknown, which is normal because we deployed 2 days ago and it's been used like 10 or 12 times by PG&Me. But no error so far, so even if it's still alpha or beta, and I think I have an issue here. The one we got yesterday also at some point. Yeah, don't know why, but it didn't. My increase allowance transaction didn't went through, basically. Proof token, 10 GHST to the contract. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, let's fucking buy it. And now I just have to sign this last transaction, and the OTC deal will be completed. and OTC deal should be in now. The Aavegotchi website didn't realize I changed wallet. It's a bit broken this site sometimes because oh, okay, well, I think it works better if I stay on this one. If I go back here, if I want to create an OTC deal, you can see that this new wallet now has 2 Gotchis, so the transfer has been effective. And I guess that's it for the demo. Thanks.
Very
Flip to
nice,
Gotchi.
very, very nice.
Thank you. If you have some questions, whatever.
Yeah, sure. So you sent me the URL an hour or two ago. So I did use the time to have a quick look at the contract, nothing in depth. I saw that you guys use an upgradable proxy pattern, and I had a look at the Gotchi swap.sol, and something I noticed was that it looks like an admin is currently able to withdraw from the contract, to withdraw a Gotchi from the contract. I think that's really nice for testing, because if I want to test it out and my Gotchi gets stuck, I have a trusted community person there like you who I can contact. But I think that eventually some people might try to FUD this function. So I just wanted to ask you, do you plan to keep it, or do you plan to deprecate this function, or did I get something wrong and I missed something in the contract?
EG will answer if he can, because he wrote the contract, but we had a discussion about this function. If he and put his mic on. G? Yeah, okay, good.
Hello. GM, GN, everyone. It's 13th minute of the day, so GM.
GM.
Yeah, so I was gonna post that in the chat, and I think it's still worth posting that exactly for testing. There's 2 caveats to keep in mind. That basically it's upgradable, and there's admin function. And right now the proxy is owned by my cold wallet, and the admin is me, is my cold wallet as well. So basically, by testing this, if we share it, it's you're basically trusting me, but not the other party. That's the difference. You're trusting the admin. The goal is to, and that's something we have to discuss together. We can renounce the proxy ownership and remove admin. There's also a function to remove admin that makes address 0 the admin. So that could be one way to make it immutable. Could also deploy a version that's not upgradable, or renounce the proxy admin. That's something we can decide as either a hackathon or community, or we can make the admin someone we trust, either by having a community multisig, or but that's probably the best, or just an admin, because basically and renounce the upgradable proxy. Because basically, I think already people for OTC trust some members of the community. So the admin, it's basically what it represents. For the proxy, I would use a community multisig, like the DAO director multisig or something like that. And that's something we have to decide.
All right. Thank you for addressing that.
Yeah, so thank you for noticing and mentioning it. So it's really not a hidden feature.
Any other comments about the project from the audience? Light Piglet saying it looks great and he can't wait to use it. Same here. I think it's something that we as a community really needed. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this grow into something even bigger with even more functionality. Very well done, you guys.
Thanks. But really, the hackathon was kind of a trigger, as I said last time, to start this project, because PG has the idea for sometimes, but I told him I was interested in making the project with him, grabbing the front end. But we say, yeah, why not, and so on. But he didn't. We didn't make it into a real project until the hackathon was announced, and at that point, we had talked about it like months ago, and at that point we said each other, yeah, maybe now is the time, because there's gonna be not this competition, but this thing is going to gather developers together. So maybe it can. Maybe it's time. It's just the time to do it. There's no project, no other thing we are working around on Aavegotchi. So let's start this one. So yeah, I think without the Voltron Hackathon, maybe this project would still be an idea in our head. So that's good, I guess.
All right, glad to hear. Yeah, just for the record, personally, I think that your MVP that you demonstrated shows everything that it needs to have. So I'm just gonna ask into the round. Is there anything? Is there anyone who would not approve this project for having completed the steps to qualify for the MVP reward? If so, then please say something and say why. Maybe we can discuss it and change your mind. But if everyone is cool with this, then let's officially ratify this project. All right, looks like everyone's cool. Awesome. Yeah, should we move on to the next submission, or do you guys have some more questions or comments about Gotchi Swap?
Yeah, just as PG said right now, we are not sure if we are going to. I think we are going to publish it because, as you said, there is a safety measure with the admin. But maybe we should add. I don't know if we need to put a bit more of disclaimer at the top of the at the entrance of the site at the home page, because as you said, this is for testing only regarding the admin thing. But yeah, we deployed yesterday, so we didn't have really time to think about it. But To me, the project is good to go, but maybe some more testing would be nice. So I don't know. We'll have to see what we do with it.
Yeah, right. And there will be the judging round at the end of next month too. So you can make some more improvements and try to up your rating for that. But it's already already great.
Yeah, it's on the roadmap. Don't worry. It's
Nice.
on the roadmap. We have some ideas. Okay. If there's no question, if it's good to go, I will leave you because I don't have much time, and so that will be it for me. Thanks again, PG, for the good work on this one, and thanks Aavegotchi again for giving life to the hackathon. It was a real pleasure to participate, at least. And it will be for next month also.
Awesome.
Thank
nice
you,
to have you.
Appreciate it. Have a good vacation and very good work to you too.
Thank you. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. All right. So we have one more submission, which is an Aavegotchi minigame by Elvi. Do you want to say something about it? Do you want to demonstrate it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, my submission was the Chainmon game. So I was trying to recreate some of the classic Pokemon battles, like for like the classic Pokemon Red, Yellow, Blue. Yeah, so I think like what I proposed there, it was like more a long term, but what I have right now, I'm using right now, Coliseus has as the server to communicate between two clients. So let me share it. Second. Okay, so I think is this one. No. Second, because I have a video plus. I have an. Let me see. Can you see the screen with the two clients, or is it still in the Discord?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so yeah, basically this is already running. It's under chainmonavigames.com, and it's using the old template, like the minigame template that we already have. So basically, you select the gotchi that you want to use. So the next iteration is gonna be you selecting more than one. Right now, I'm just selecting one. So for example, I get this one. I start. So this is just waiting for an opponent, and it's showing in the. Let me see. Oh, I got it broken. One second. So yeah, it says like the opponent got into the room. So other people can start another room, or they can join one that is already created. So you have here one that is already created, so you get in. So now both are connected, so now they can start fighting each other. So right now what is happening is like all the four buttons that are there, they're supposed to be 4 different movements, which are going to be implemented. Have a way to start selecting depending also in your core. So like when you have in the Aavegotchi wiki, where everything, well, actually like every trait on the curve has a name, for example, right? Like if you are just, if your energy is 0, you are calm. So I'm trying to get like in the same spaces there, what is actually the movement that you're gonna get. But for now, the 4 buttons they are gonna be the same. So for example, one sends the first attack. So it says the player has submitted 1 attack, and the other one needs to submit another one. So now they got both. They get a random order, and now the first one was the MWPC. So which is that the Barbarian is gonna attack. giving a damage of 52 to worthy, which is the other one here, and then the other one is attacking. So now we have 448 for worthy and 419 for defending barbarian. So they are going to continue submitting attacks, and it's going to be calculating everything. If somebody tries to make like 2 movements, it's not going to allow them. They already submit a movement, so they need to wait for the other one to attack. So they continue attacking, and then some of there, boom. So the game over actually. So winner is the worthy. So if anyone wants to try it right now, is the chainmon.aavegotchi.com. It's completely live. Right, for getting the damage, I'm trying to recreate what is the damage calculation formula from the classic Pokemon games. So that's why later on I want to also implement like a strength over other gotchas, right? Like every gotcha is gonna have a type. Like for example, maybe Ethereum has a strength over USDC, but has a weakness over Bitcoin, right? Now and so on, like in a circular way where nobody has actually a god type. For the next iterations, I'm expecting to have like more there. Like my next steps are gonna be like maybe adding for now I want to add is different movements with different damage power. After that I start like implementing multiple also gotchas, so you can select more than one, and after that getting the last movement, which is the swap. So when you already in the code, if somebody calls a movement swap, that's actually the one that is going to be the first. It's the same way that the Pokemon classic games. It's like if somebody is withdrawing one Pokemon, they are going to have the first movement. So I'm trying to follow like all the rules that are already made for those games. So yeah, I also have a video that I made like today. Also, I'm gonna put it in the chat because I didn't know if I was gonna be able to be here. So it's this one, which has like everything that we went through. Yeah, that's what I got so far.
Awesome. I really like the aesthetic, how the gotchis face each other, similar to how you see it in Pokemon. That was really cool, almost like a meme. And looks really great so far.
Thanks. Yeah. Right now it's live on HTTPS chainmon.aavegotchi, which also have the Aavegotchi game. So it's over there. You can invite people trying to use it while I'm continue. So you can actually, if there is not any room available, you click start and you just wait for other people to jump in. So if you want little Piglet, you can go there. We can battle each other. So let me share again my screen so we can actually test that part. So for example, let me see. So if I join, there is another room here. It's already created, yes. So now I got there. So now I submit an attack and you submit another one. So you already submit too many movement right now. So I submit another one. Now you can submit almost there. Oh, okay. Yeah, you beat me. So. But yeah, so I want to try to get like more right now. Like with the formula that I have is just having the full value. The only thing that is changing is a random number that actually give you different a different value than the other one. But when I implement more, I'm gonna start adding, there is a formula in Pokemon that has a random number, level, type, actually the damage, attack power, defense power, and everything is divided by some random number. So right now everything has the same value. That you have the random number to determine a different outcome. So.
All right, great. One question that I had was, how do you do the hosting? We could see that you had a server console going. Do we can we make this public, or would that crash your server bill?
Right now it's public. Like anybody can play right now. Like it's completely hosted, the back end, the front end, other stuff that I was even thinking, because I was focusing in, it was just me, so I was focusing on the back end and the front end. I started working on as soon as I submitted the proposal, the project for the hackathon, and just in my free time doing that. But right now everything is available. Anybody can actually play right now. So how I'm hosting it, I try. Coliseos has I think little Piglet show it, like they have a Coliseos cloud, which I tried to use it, but it was $15 per month, and I already have some servers in DigitalOcean, so I just deploy everything there. So.
It's your servers. So if we share the link and then suddenly 500 people come on, then it will not bankrupt you.
No, it's not gonna bankrupt me. Like awesome. I have it. I increased the size of that server since the XP event, like 1 or 2 years ago. So it should handle at least like a couple people there, like more than 100, I guess. So.
Wow, nice. So, are you also planning to add some animations and stuff?
Yeah, depending on the time that I have, I want to start like. So one of my focus also in this is like, I'm more proficient on the back end than in actually gaming developing. What I want to do, like also planning, is like I wanted to finish at least like all the server, because I want to do all those dynamics on the server so nobody can cheat using the client. Maybe if the server gets it's not too big, it's like there is too much work, right now it's public, so anybody can actually create their own client and they can start using that backend for creating the engine, the game. So I want to focus more on some of the backend work. Obviously continue adding more on the client. I was thinking about the animations, some sounds, but depend of the time. So.
Nice, glad to hear that. And same as with the last project, I'm very curious to see the version at the end of next month when we have the judging round. But so far really looks great already.
Thanks.
Do we have any other comments, questions, suggestions from the audience? Doesn't look like it. Light Piglet already giving the stamp of approval. here. So yeah, let's also, for the record, how do you say, determine that this is a functional MVP. And yeah, I think it fulfills all the requirements. So yeah, you should be good in terms of rewards for season 2. Okay, are there any other projects? Let me check the thread. No, nothing new in the thread. Anyone else here in the audience wants to present something? Doesn't seem to be the case. So yeah, then we move on to the next order of business here, which is a discussion about the number of judges, or in general how the judging round will be judged. There are several alternative options out there, and I just thought it makes sense that we discuss what we would feel most comfortable with, what we would prefer, and we should maybe even discuss it today and also in the next meeting, just so that everyone, depending on their time zone, had a chance to get heard on that. Let me check chat here. Okay, they are still on a different topic. So we had a recommendation from Thrive that there would be or there could be a small number of selected judges who would get a couple votes each, and then they divvy up those votes for all the projects that were handed in, and then the additional bonus rewards will be distributed in accordance with who got how many votes. Originally, when we first discussed this, we had in mind that we had a larger pool of judges, including the people with the Voltron Hackathon role, but obviously there are some problems with that. First of all, it wouldn't make sense if we could judge our own creations, but we could still, in theory, judge other people's creations. But then you might be under scrutiny for back alley deals, right? So if someone says, hey, if you upvote mine, I will upvote yours and stuff like that. So that could potentially look bad. So I see why Tab didn't immediately go for that. There is also the option that we could just have an open form where people who want to be judges could submit that they want to be judges, and then we could leave that there for a week, and then after that we see however many judges we have, and then just let all those people judge. The last option that I was thinking of was that we use this opportunity to have a big server event. I think that a lot of people in the community don't really know about the Voltron Hackathon, or at least what's going on here. And this judging round reminded me of the tile contest we had for decorating your parcels. And we could, for example, make a new channel where everyone with the Gotchi gang role has access to. So everyone who has a Gotchi would potentially be a judge. And then we post all the creations of the hackathon in there, and then have one official emoji, like for example the Thrive emoji, and everyone could just tag their favorite projects with emojis, and that would involve everyone on the server. Those 4 options came to mind, and yeah, I just wanted to see what your guys' opinions are. Maybe you have completely different things in mind. So yeah, whoever wants to be heard about that, please come forward.
No. I would say that having a panel plus like a big server event, we could even have like a community vote sort of thing, like a community winner. What's the people's favorite project? Or we could weigh it, somehow with the judges, if we wanted to include it like that. And I think it'd be really cool to have it as like a big community event, sort of. Maybe have like, I don't know, Andy play a set or something, play some music. I don't know. Have a whole thing going on.
Sorry, I think I'm actually missed the first part you mentioned. Did you?
I said I think we could have the community involved somehow as judges, whether we wanted to have a community winner kind of prize, or just have the community be a judge, like they have how many of our votes we're giving the regular judges. We could also have the community that's there do a poll while we're there or something like that, and do a live vote as well. I think that's a cool idea to have the community involved in general, get people excited about it, interested, all that kind of stuff. Because like you said, they are probably naive, a lot of them, to what is being built, what's happening, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, just to be clear, I sorry, I still I still didn't fully understand whether you wanted to have just the community event, or whether you wanted to basically make a split pot where you have the community winner on the one side, and the other part of the pot would be from select judges. I wasn't exactly sure about that, what you meant.
I'm saying we could have the community winner category, or we could basically make the community a judge as well. So they have their own votes with what Hardcore said, an emoji poll, and they're the last judge, and they get it, the same vote representation as the judges, and it doesn't have to be this complete experience. If you're available and able to vote, and you can make it happen. But I think we have 2 paths we could take rather than one that I'm sold on.
Okay, I got it now. Sorry.
But either way, we should probably talk over it, with everybody, hopefully at the next meeting. But I think it's a really good idea to have the community involved in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I think so too. So Hardcore, how many or anyone, how many judges would you want to see if the community in this example would get the equivalent of 1 vote, or we could weigh it however we wanted, I guess. How many judges would we want to see in order to have a somewhat balanced, decentralized representation?
I'm going to pull up the Thrive notes and see what we had down originally. We had 5 down originally. We had 2 people from 2 of the devs from ThriveCoin that I don't know. Somebody from Pixelcraft, whether it's like one of the devs, Frank, Coder Dan, somebody from Tab, probably Chair, because he's not participating and he's probably the best with smart contracts. And then hopefully Nick Mudge, if he was down. He's been around a little bit more, at least online and stuff, reacting to stuff in the server. So we could try to add a 6th somehow, somebody from Voltron or another Pixelcraft represent team, maybe like Thrax if he's around, and then have the community be the 7th judge. We have 7 judges.
What I'm still wondering is why do we actually want to have it that centralized? Whether or 4, 5, 6, or 7, I think that it's still a low number. Or don't you think so?
I mean, we can expand it further. I just, some of these projects are like Solidity smart contracts that need to be looked at and that kind of thing. The greater community doesn't really have a grasp on that, to that degree where they're making the bigger decision, in my opinion. That, I would just say, most of them don't have the technical expertise to judge a hackathon.
Okay, I guess it comes down to what you actually want to judge, right? So if like you said, you wanna look at the contract and see if they are on par to or up to our standards, then you're absolutely right. The average person will not be able to judge that. I completely forgot about this part of the contest, like the expert opinion, so to say. I just thought about, hey, let's reward what the people really wanna see and use and experience. So yeah, I guess.
So I think it would be fair to have the community be the last judge, the odd number judge, judge number 7, number 9, number 5, whatever we decide. So they are essentially the tiebreaker in that case. But their vote doesn't decide everything because, people can talk in the chat about, something they may spot right then and there. But, Coder Dan's going to be the one, or, somebody on Thrive or possibly Chair is going to be the one to find something wrong with a smart contract or something technical on the back end faster than somebody in the community, most likely.
True. Why not make it 50-50 so that the judges from that Thrive suggested have their vote, the community has their vote, and then you basically weigh both of them 50-50 for the reward.
I'm not opposed if you think that seems like a more decentralized way of going about things.
Well, I personally think so, but I make a lot of decisions here, so I don't want to influence this too much. I just think that we don't really necessarily need something like a tiebreaker or to or for the community to act like a tiebreaker, because if every judge has a couple of votes to distribute, then it's unlikely that there are ties. And even if there are ties, if the community also votes, it could introduce new ties. So for tie breaking, I think it doesn't really matter.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't see why we can't weigh them 50-50. If people think that's what's best, I'm fine with it. I think the community would be more than happy with it, to have a say and that kind of thing. I'll kick it around at Thrive. I don't know what they're going to think. Like I said before, none of them are here right now. Yeah, they're mad at me. So we've had 2 meetings to discuss basically shit that I started.
Oh, so right now you're persona non grata.
Yeah, but I'm the only one that gets shit done as well and knows what the hell's going on, so they don't have a choice. But whatever, that's a separate thing. But yeah, I'll kick it around at Thrive on Tuesday.
On Tuesday? I thought, your internal meeting, right? I was on Monday because the public meeting is on Monday, and it's also the last day for the season, so it will probably be very busy.
I think they're gonna announce that season 2 is extended, so we can do the direct distributions for the Voltron thing, and that'll probably take up most of the meeting on Monday.
Interesting. Yeah, I also need to file a ticket. I just checked and I got some rewards that for something that I never did. So I will speak up during the next meeting, I think. Yeah, hardcore also makes a good point. The community as a whole is unlikely to try everything. With a lot of community stuff, it's also a lot of who is in your corner and how popular people are. But yeah, that might be a reason to decrease the weight of the community to less than 50%, I think. But yeah, we could also, after you guys discussed it in Thrive, we could bring it up in the DAO meeting. So not the one today, but the one after, and ask the community how they feel about it.
Oh, we could bring it up in the next meeting. I can go up there and talk. I'll ask Cafe.
Okay. I didn't want to get you into even more trouble if the community decides then, hey, we want to do something that the tab is not cool with or something.
At the end of the day, I work for the DAO, not Thrive. So that's where I stand on that.
And that's a good stand to have. Awesome. Any other opinions, suggestions, or comments, questions regarding the judging round next month?
I think we'll be able to get a solid plan or something close to a formalized plan by the end of the next Voltron meeting. when we have everybody. But we got some good ideas here for sure.
We have some more comments from Hardcore coming in. The best thing might be, the best thing made might look like nothing. Someone needs to try to use this stuff for a while. Judging shouldn't be picking a winner. It should be a feedback loop. Yeah, I agree with that. Very true. Agree. I mean, we could actually have, instead of a judging event, we could have a judging week where people, or even the whole month, like whoever is ready could present their projects, get feedback, and then iterate on that feedback until we have the judging round in the end. And then, yeah, the people who provided feedback will likely to upvote that.
Good idea. I guess we'd have to get or I guess would we just submit the projects to the community at large in that way for testing? Would that be the plan?
Yeah, I mean, whoever is ready to do that, that would be a good idea, I think.
That we can have the final judging process. I think it sounds like a good idea. We should definitely take it to the rest of the people that with Voltron, but I like it.
I also Hardcore just improved on this point and says we could even make it a Thrive reward to give feedback on all the submitted projects, which would make it even more interactive. I think that's a really good suggestion.
That's a really good suggestion, actually. I'm going to write that one down for the next Thrive meeting, or screenshot it. That's a really good one, Hardcore. Because they're like trying to brainstorm better ways to reward people with different stuff, and especially try to get the community more involved with Voltron. And I told them, I was like, it's mostly just us. There's not a lot of people coming around listening. Here and there are, but they're like, so how do we stir that up? And this seems like the best way, and it'll be like give us more room for the rewards and all that stuff that we're asking for. That still hasn't really been finished within Thrive.
All right, nice. The next topic would be about the testnet, the current situation. FIFO and PG mentioned this last meeting that certain assets are not readily available, and yeah, I wanted to give a whole talk to this so that we can discuss what our next steps are. So, for example, what do we need as a community of developers to properly test our contracts, and then maybe appoint someone to try to approach PC, whether, like, how to get this done. Is this planned? Is there capacity for this? because I think it's an important point, and I was completely unaware of it since they brought it up last meeting. But I also don't know much about the situation. FIFO is already gone, but if PG can say a little bit more about this, or we could table it for the next meeting. Wait till FIFO is back. Yeah, up to you, PG.
I can add a bit. Basically, it was pretty good until Mumbai. On Coven, the UI was there. There was assets to buy, and we could spin gotchis. There's also the problem of the availability to summon gotchi with the AM token, which are practically non-existing on Polygon now, because they were bridged. So sorry, it's the MA token, but they were Matic A token that were bridged by Aavegotchi for Ant1. So those are really hard to have right now, and on Mumbai there's none basically that I know of. Also, there was a few iterations of the diamond contract on Mumbai, and the one you see on the UI is an old contract that has been depleted with what was it? There was a quest or something like that where people were incentivized to go on Mumbai and buy portals. so yeah, basically it's a bad state of affair because the UI doesn't represent the state of the contract, doesn't match the state of the contract, and the forge is deployed on it but not integrated, and there's no V2 as well. So the new UI is not available that I know of. I've asked some PC people, and they've said it's on the roadmap, but it's not right now. It's really not available, and that's fine. I understand with all the changes that they've not been keeping up with that, and I think the goal could be that for Gotchi Chain we have a proper testnet. That sounds like something we could ask PC, because they want to make it developer friendly. They want to invite even company to contribute, and so to develop on Gotchi Chain. So I think they might consider that valuable. And also we could make it maybe part of the Thrive process, or anyway incentivize it in some way to so it could be like a goal for Gotchi Chain. I think that would be reasonable. Either, as you said, I don't think they have the bandwidth right now to update that. What we did basically with Gotchi Swap is we forked the mainnet, and we tested with that.
Yeah, but it's definitely good to know that you already approached them about this. And let's wait and see and follow up on this. I think it's also a good idea to try to push this for Gotchi Chain, so that anything that gets deployed there can be properly tested in advance. Thank you for the summary.
No problem. I think V2 is a good opportunity as well, since it's supposed to be open source.
Right on. Okay, I see that we're already leaving some or losing some people due to the time here. We do have 2 more topics left, but I think we can we can make them brief. So one thing that I wanted to ask you guys was how you feel about trying to combine everything like everything that involves community development into one big group, because like previously we had the DTF, the ATF, now we have Voltron. I think it's hard for people to keep up with all of it. Even Voltron alone, we still see some questions in the chat about people not being able to keep up. And so I think it might make sense that we try to combine everything under one hood, however we want to call it, but basically have one community development group where we can stay up to date about everything that's happening. Or if you guys, that's basically my question to you guys, or if you feel like we should keep things separate.
I have a strong opinion on this at the moment, but it definitely sounds good to bring us all together rather than have a bunch of separate people kind of trying to make all the same things happen. And, you know, in my mind, you know, 2 heads are better than 1, and then we got a lot of heads and a lot of big brains in this community, and most of them are involved either here or there, the Forge, we're in the ATF, DTF, those kind of people. Those are the big brains, and those are the people that get stuff done. So if we're going to make stuff happen as a community, those are the people that need to come together and work together. There's probably some cons to this system that I haven't thought deeply enough about yet, so I'll give it more thought for the next meeting for sure.
Awesome, great to hear. Anyone else, any thoughts on the matter? Hardcore saying you should try to make Voltron into a force of nature. It already is. If the right decisions are made, it will live on its own and roles will be filled by the right people at the right time. Just don't lose momentum. ATF never had momentum. Always be planning for the next one. If you stop or pause, it dies. I reached out to Jared and Gotchinomics, as I've seen they were the ones on the ATF proposal. Jared is no longer part of the ATF, but he told me that as far as he knows, the ATF still has funds for XP events or such. So given that they also have funds and we have funds, I think it makes all the more sense to have it all under one roof. I didn't hear back from Gotchinomics yet. If I remember correctly, PG mentioned that he was also part of the ATF, if I got that right. So if you have some more infos for us, please let us know. ATF has more or less 100,000 ghosts staked for player rewards. Okay, that's a decent number.
It's not bad to have, for sure.
Like, I'm not sure about the Gotchi Battler, but I think I saw it in the current proposal for the Gotchi Crawler, that they included rewards, and I think the Battler too. So given that we have 100,000 ghosts set aside for player rewards, I wonder, like, I think then the authors of these proposals just didn't know about it, which, well, just further stresses the point that we should put everything together so that it's easier to keep up. Because as a DAO, it makes not much sense to approve proposals that include like 10,000 for player rewards if we already have 100,000 set aside for exactly that purpose.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It would make sense to have, I don't know, a small player reward for each playable demo, and especially Gotchi Battler. That looks awesome. You know, and if we already have this money there, that's perfect. I just feel like people don't know about it, as you said.
Yeah, I think we could also bring this up in the DAO meeting. Let's get the opinion of the community about this. Because right now we are left here with 4 people. Yeah, we might not even know everything that's going on still. So if we propose this during the next meeting, say, hey, what are all of you guys thinking about making one big group for community development, and see what the DAOs thinks about it. Okay, Hardcore says we don't need to combine. I'd avoid dealing with the DAO and just ask ATF to allocate rewards for game events. It took 18 months to transfer those funds. Oh my god. Okay, I see your point. But on the other hand, we want the community to know about us. But yeah, we can let them know without trying to combine things. But we should definitely find someone in the ATF who's like a contact person, so that we can synchronize things.
EG said it's Web. Web is the point of contact.
Oh, sorry, I totally missed that. Awesome. That's great. I'll reach out to him unless some of you want to, and check where things are at.
Not him at all. So if somebody else wants to be my guest. Yeah, I mean, Hardcore is not wrong in that if we do get the DAO involved, we then have to play DAO politics, which is never fun. And we've kind of been able to operate autonomously up until then if we do this. So just something to think about, that we will have to go through them for a lot of things if we do it that way, which is not always the best.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. I hadn't thought about that. I was thinking about the other side that was brought up earlier, where if we scheme too much in secret, not that there's a secret, but you know how people react, it might. Yeah, you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I know what you mean. So like, that's something we should try to get everybody on a call for and really make the decision, because, you know, we could be like the Gotchi Vault and people like, we're going to get death threats if something goes wrong kind of thing. Or, you know, if we go to the DAO, we got to haggle and play politics. So.
Yeah, it's a really great choice.
They both aren't necessarily great choices.
Okay, judging
I don't know
from
Bearded too much, but Bearded seems like a decent developer, and I'm not going to comment on his personality or anything like that, but it seems like he's kind of just been pushed away from the Gotchi community due to DAO stuff, and Gotchi Vault has now made him like a evil figure.
Yeah, I mean, Hardcore really has a lot of experience with DAO politics, I think, and yeah, he just reiterated on that point. I promise you, trying to restructure will trigger endless rage DAOing from the usual suspect. It's not. I think we should probably not do it then. Seemed like a good idea at first, but yeah, you guys convinced me that we should maybe not do this.
I mean, I think we're a little bit more friendly than the Gotchi Vault, and as long as we continue to be as open as we possibly can be, I don't think we'll ever take on that sort of villainous role that they have in some ways. I mean, I respect them as builders and, respect most of them as people as well. So I have nothing against them. Just, general community vibe is bad towards them.
Right, and PG mentioned that the ATF is independent from the DAO at this point, a bit like the DTF was. Yeah, so it makes more sense to just link up with them, cooperate with them directly, I think.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, and Hardcore is right on the money. They have decider power. Let's get them opportunities to use it. Very well said.
Agreed.
Okay, so we're already a bit over time. There's one last thing to discuss, which is a move-up list or like a waiting list. So far, there have been 3 people who wondered if they can join the hackathon after the initial project description deadline passed. And I think it would open a can of worms if we try to admit new people, but then if someone were to drop out for whatever reason, we would technically have a spot to fill. Something that was worrying me about this is that I want to keep this going, and I very much hope that soon, these days, we'll see another Signal proposal like it was mentioned in AGIP 83, which was the AGIP for the Thrive rewards, and it said that there will be a continuation of 3 months, or they strive towards continuing this for another 3 months. And yeah, I hope we will see a Signal proposal for that soon, so that we can continue without a month of nothingness in between, But something that worried me is that if everyone participates now, we might not have many people left. So if for season 4, for example, we only have 2 people sign up, that was something that was worrying me. So seeing people asking about, hey, can we participate still, was something that I thought was a good thing, because it means like we will have some people down the line, and not the other community members being busy building out the stuff that they participated in this hackathon with, if you know what I mean. But in principle, I have nothing against a move-up list. I think, I'm not sure, but it sounded like a little bit like Gotchi Crawler might not submit. The group split up, and they made a Signal proposal under a new name, and it is about a demo, and they target October, so they might have dropped out. It wasn't really clear to me, but if so, we might have a spot open that we could, in theory, give to whoever submits the next project description.
I'm fine with a move up list, but it also is the question of, are we going to approve the next Thrive proposal, which is coming. I don't know if it's going to pass. It's going to be contentious. You saw how that conversation went when I brought up pay. Nobody wanted to talk about pay. Everybody wanted to talk about Thrive as a system.
I think we derailed that thread a little bit, but from what I've read before that happened, everyone seemed in favor of it. I was actually wondering that the thread was silent for so long. I thought it had great feedback.
I got silenced. Pretty much. It's a little bit more complicated, I guess, but basically we had a whole meeting about it, and they don't want me to say how I really feel about some of these things. I don't know. I don't even know if I would vote for another Thrive pilot personally.
Oh wow, that is surprising to hear, from me at least. I thought everyone was Gucci, and the event with last season's event where we had the raffle, like everyone seemed to really love it, and I didn't know that we had community sentiment against this.
I mean, like, I can't even justify it with the numbers. Like, if you look at the contributions for both this season and the past season, like, it's all people just following on Snapshot. They're not even doing anything. It's people following them from Apecoin and, whatever other campaigns they've run so far. It's not necessarily doing anything besides rewarding people for, like, some stuff that we could do manually, but we should have already been doing that as a DAO. So I don't know. This is a different conversation, but yeah, I'm not sure that we should count on Thrive being renewed necessarily.
Okay, I think we can conclude with that. Thank you everyone for joining, and looking forward to the next meeting.
Yeah, Sunday next week. See you guys then. And see you guys tomorrow.
All right, bye-bye.